All right, we're live. We're local. We're late breaking. We got comments. Let's see. I'm setting up Tick to talk. We have 12. Wow. Do we have less people than we had last night? Friday night. What do you got? Hey, Footballer Nick. Hey, Footballer Nick. What football card did you get when I sent you a box of cards as a prize? You got somebody. Didn't you get a really good one? Maybe he's not hearing me. Friday night. I can't spell fantasy. All right. Footballer Nick, what card did you get when I sent you cards as a prize? Do you remember? All right, we're live. We got great things going on. I got a Milwaukee Brewers hat on. I don't know why. This is going to be a good night. We can talk football all night or until I get tired, which is probably not too far from now. Who's got questions on fantasy? You got a Caleb Williams 4. Ooh, you got a Caleb Williams. Okay, cool. All right, that's who it was. All right, green. Cool. Wow, that is a pretty good card. All right, who's got fantasy questions? Let me know. I'd love to help out. I'm trying this crappy green screen that I have on YouTube. It's kind of funny. On TikTok, I look great. I mean, not that I look great, but it's a great. I don't really need a green screen. So the Chargers, Footballer Nick, everything's going well with the Chargers. Let's see what we got here. The Chargers, actually. The Chargers. All right. Who's sticking around, huh? Oh, no. Last night. Hey, you're going to the Chargers game. That's awesome. Are they? Yeah, because they're playing New England. That's awesome. What jersey are you going to wear? You going to wear your Herbert jersey? All right. Football content ad. That's awesome, Footballer Nick. I love to hear that you're going to a Chargers game. I hope you have a great time. You just got to let us know what jersey you're going to wear. A Herbert jersey? Okay, start three. McLaurin, Ladd, BTJ, Chase, Cook, Evans. I would go McLaurin, Evans. Chase doesn't have that great. Ladd has a tough matchup. BTJ, not so great. Oh, Jamar Chase. I'm thinking of Chase Brown. Yeah, I go McLaurin, Jamar Chase, and Evans. McLaurin, Jay Chase. Oh, you're wearing a McConkey jersey. Wow, you got a. Was that like for Christmas, Footballer Nick? You got a McConkey jersey? Because that, I mean, he's a rookie, so you must have just picked that one up or recently picked that one up. Yeah, I'd go McLaurin. He is a good matchup as long as he plays. Ladd is a tough matchup. BTJ, somewhat tough. Jamar Chase, and then I would go Evans. It's another good matchup for them against the Panther. No. Who do they play? They play, yeah, the Panthers. Yeah, it's a good matchup. The Jets against running backs. I'm just thinking about Cook real quick. The Jets against running backs are actually pretty good. That's why I wouldn't say the Jets. They give up 15.8. But if you wanted rather than Evans, hey, Chris, how are you? I would start Sutton over Chuba. Chuba has a tough matchup. Tampa Bay's number one against running backs. football content, I would go McLaurin, Jamar Chase, and then I would probably go Cook over Evans. Even though the Jets are 10th, they give up 15.8 points against running backs. Evans and the Panthers. I mean, you could go Evans. You could go Cook. Cook has a little tougher matchup than Evans. You figure Evans is going to get a lot of points, but he does share points lately. Evans does with McMillan. So I would go McLaurin, Jamar Chase, and I would probably go James Cook on that one. Because the Jets give up 15.8, but Cook is really the mainstay there. And you figure he's probably going to get at least 13. Where Evans could have a bummer week and get that 10 or get, somewhere around there, which isn't going to help you out. In the champion, should I start? I would start Sutton. Chuba, like I said, the Buccaneers are number 1 against the run. And so Chuba's going to have his hands full. I would go with Sutton. Peyton, Cole, Drake May, or Bryce Young. Let's look that up. Drake May or Bryce Young. Well, Footballer Nick, have a great time. That's going to be a fun game to go to. And I'm assuming you'll be in the minority there. There's probably not too many San Diego fans living in the Boston area. It's just my guess. Okay. The Buccaneers versus the Chargers against quarterbacks. Buccaneers against quarterbacks are 12. Chargers are 19. Chargers have a better matchup, so Drake May has a little bit better matchup. The difference is the Chargers give up 21.3. The Buccaneers give up 20. But the Buccaneers are tough against the run, so it's going to be a tight game for them. Let me just see what they both have been doing, though. Drake May. 18, 18, 20, 14. Bryce Young. 27, 14, 13, 23. Arizona against the Cardinals are 21st. He's going up against the 12th. They give a 20. Arizona gives up 22. I'm kind of inclined to start Bryce Young, though, on that play. Peyton. I'm thinking Bryce Young is your steady. If you want to go with matchup-wise, Drake May, but Bryce Young has had 2 weeks over 20 in the last 4. Don't forget, everybody, to hit that follow button on TikTok. Hit subscribe on YouTube. I will not probably be able to go live tomorrow, but I will be live on Sunday. And then I'll probably be live on Monday night as well. But so I would probably go Bryce Young only because he's been playing a little bit better. If you want to try May and maybe take that risk that he puts up a good week, you can do so. But I would probably go Bryce Young. All right. Don't forget to hit that like, everybody. Wait, okay. Start 1. Juwan Jennings, Kupp, Devontae Smith, Adam Thielen. Well, I don't like what Kupp has been doing the last couple of weeks. Devontae Smith, maybe. Thielen and Smith. Let me look them up. I wouldn't go Juwan Jennings. He's been all over the place. Not very consistent is what I'm getting at. Just see what. Yeah, against Dallas. Let's see, Tampa Bay against wide receivers. There's 17. Dallas is 25. I would go Devontae Smith over Adam Thielen on that one. All right, let's see what we got here. Friday, do you trust J.K. Dobbins in the flex over Mooney? Well, that's if Dobbins plays. I actually picked him up on one of my teams. Did he get cleared? I haven't looked for about 2 hours. Let's see. He's questionable. Chargers activated Dobbins from injured reserve Friday. While technically still listed as questionable, Dobbins presumably wouldn't have been activated from IR unless the team intended for him to play in Saturday's game at the Patriots. All right. Yeah, I do. I mean, he did have the Chargers listed Dobbins as a full practice participant Thursday following limited listings on Tuesday and Wednesday. So he was a full participant on Thursday. I would assume that he's playing. And I mean, if you need a running back, I'm not hesitating. I found him as a free agent this week, and I really needed a running back. I have bad matchups. And it's the other thing about it, guys, is New England against the run. It's a good matchup. The Patriots are 30th against the run. Wait a second. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The Patriots are 30th against the run. So I think it's going to be a really good matchup. Let's hit that like button. We got 63 likes on TikTok. Bob is here. He sent 150. Bob, what's going on, Bob? I'll be looking for your question, Bob. Let's see what we got here. Let's look up Bob real quick. Bob has been pretty much with me since the beginning of the season, so I love that. All right. Should I start T, Adam Thielen, or Khalil Shakir? I would go T. Higgins, right? I'd go Devontae Smith, Pat F, right? I would go T. Higgins. He has Gibbs football content. Let's go back to that. Can you repeat that again? He has Gibbs, Daniels, Bijan, Irving, Neighbors, Bowers. Do I stand a chance? Well, maybe if Neighbors doesn't do so well. Bucky probably will do well. Bijan should do okay. Daniels, okay. Gibbs will do great. I would start James Conner over Chuba. Chuba's going up against the number one defense against running backs in the NFL. So I would go James Conner. Anybody is better than that. And the Cardinals play the Rams, and the Rams against the run. Well, they're number 3. The Buccaneers are number 1, but the Rams give up 11.4. The Buccaneers give up 8.2. So a 3-point swing there. I do trust J.K. Dobbins, Gabriel. Love or Darnold? Darnold has a tough matchup. Love. The Vikings against quarterbacks. Are 14th. Yeah, but Darnold, the Packers are 6th. So I would consider Love over Darnold based on the matchup. But what's Love been doing? Let's just see. I know he had that New Orleans game, but yeah, see, the only thing with Love is he doesn't really score over 19 points a lot. I would almost go with Darnold. He got 21 points against Minnesota the first time. Now according to my research and things like that he has an 80% chance of going lower than 21 points this time around. But even if he gets 19 or 20, he should do well. So I don't know. I would go Darnold. Love just doesn't put up 11, 17, 14, 18.9, 14. Darnold could probably get 14 or 15, no problem. Hopefully he'll get right around 20. Stephanie Kelly. Let me see what your question is. I'm daydreaming again, aren't I? Bob, I might lose the championship because of the Seahawks. Yeah, the Seahawks really did well. They did me no favors because I had JSN on a team and I had not Charbonnet, not DK. Oh, I guess I had I don't know. I had JSN in one of my teams and he totally screwed me. So all right, Stephanie Kelly. Spears or Stevenson? Stevenson had 2 drops last week. Yeah, he drops and he fumbles a lot, I think. But Spears, the only thing with Spears is his points are contingent on him scoring touchdowns. That's the only thing I don't. Well, so Stevenson, though, to a certain extent. Let me just see. Chargers, Jacksonville against the run. Against the run, the Chargers are 24th, Jacksonville's 19th. It's a more favorable matchup for Stevenson than it is Spears. So let's see, he's had 11, 9, 10, 3, not putting up great points. I'm going to just tell you, if you want to take a risk, you put Spears in, hoping he can get 20 or more points like he's done the last 2 weeks. If you want a steady 10, 11 points, but maybe not anything more, put in Stevenson. So you have a higher risk, higher reward with Spears. He can get you 20, he might get you 8. Okay. Now Stevenson probably gets you right around 10 or 11 points guaranteed. So if you want guaranteed low, you can go Stevenson. If you want to take the risk, yeah, Stevenson 11.8, 9, 10.9. He had 3, 10.9. So you're looking at 10 to 11 points probably. I mean, it might be 9. Let's just say 9 to 11 points from Stevenson, where Tajay probably has a wider range, if I can call this up, anywhere from 3 to 20. So he has a lot wider range. So you have to take the good with the bad in that regard. All right. Don't forget to hit that like button. We're only at 398 likes. I'm feeling all sensitive. Mayo said he might start Gibson over Stevenson. Oh, that's right. Because he had those drops. Well, do you have Stevenson or not Stevenson? Do you have Gibson? Can you pick him up? Let's put Gibson in the mix. I mean, it's the same matchup. What has Gibson been doing though? 4.6. He had 12.2 against. If they put Gibson in, he's a risk. If it's Gibson and Spears, I would probably put Spears in because Gibson's a risk and he doesn't put up a lot of points. I mean, this is you might want to pick him up just in case if you can. Some leagues this is their final week. Some leagues this is week 1 of 2 weeks in the finals. So don't forget to hit that like button. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe. Definitely hit that follow button on TikTok. I probably will not be live tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe later in the afternoon I will. I don't know. I have some things to do in the morning that I won't be able to go in the morning, which I kind of wanted to before the kickoffs, but I'll go live Sunday morning. So how about that? Jacobs, Bucky, Brees, JT, pick 3. Brees or JT? I would go Jacobs and Bucky. And then it's between Brees and JT. I know Brees has a pretty good matchup. So let's see here. Daniel Berry, happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday, Daniel Berry over on YouTube. Yeah, I'd go Jonathan Taylor because he's going up against the Giants. Giants and Bills against the run. Giants are 24th. The Bills are 26th. But Brees has not been putting up really good points, and Jonathan Taylor had that massive week last week, and he actually has been doing pretty well the last 3 weeks. So I would go Jonathan Taylor as my third. So I would go Jacobs, Bucky, JT. Okay, pick 2. Mooney, Reed, Downs, McMillan. I'd go McMillan. Mooney, Reed, Downs. Mooney, Reed, Downs. I would go McMillan. It's not a bad matchup against Carolina. Carolina's defense over the last 4 weeks is actually rated 18, which isn't so bad, but they haven't really they haven't really played too many good wide receivers, so that number's a little questionable. All right. Try not to spam me too much, guys. I see a couple of the same name constantly popping up here. Mooney, Reed, Downs. I know everybody likes Reed. The only thing about Jaden Reed is he's so inconsistent because they throw to so many people. He's had 9.6, 8.6, 0, 18.2, 4, 8.8, 13.8. That's Reed is so inconsistent. Let's see, Mooney. He had 0, 10, 0, 17. Downs, has he been doing anything? I would maybe go Downs and McMillan because they're playing the Giants. I would go Downs and McMillan. The Giants against wide receivers, though, they're 13th. Let's just look at this real quick. Mooney, Atlanta, Washington against the pass. They're 12th. And then you have Reed, although he's so inconsistent. I hate the Minnesota. Minnesota's 25th against the pass, but they throw to so many people. I don't think it matters with Reed. I would probably. I like Darnell Mooney in this scenario. No. I'm sorry. I like Downs going up against the Giants. All right. I did that one. Oh, they're already having me do this. Oh my God. Am I glitching? No, please. I'm glitching again. God bless America. I can't do anything. I hate that. Was thinking Downs because Flacco's playing, but second thinking because it's going to rain. Yeah, the rain games have killed us. I guess if it doesn't rain, you could go, or if it does rain, you could go Mooney. If it doesn't rain or it's not bad rain, I would go Downs. All right, Stephanie Kelly, another question. Thielen, Wilson, or Myers? Thielen, Wilson, or Myers? Let's just see. Myers has not been putting up any points. There for a while, he was, somewhat consistent, but he just hasn't been putting up points lately. Buffalo against the pass is 32nd. So I would go Garrett Wilson because Adams could be tired of making catches that day. So it might be good to have Garrett Wilson. James Conner, Judy McMillan, pick one. Well, I wouldn't go with Judy because they have DTR. McMillan or James Conner. Is Conner 100% healthy? Let me just look that up. Conner still questionable. Conner left Sunday's game, blah, blah, blah. Has sounded optimistic about the veteran. If Conner plays, I would play Conner. If Conner doesn't play, I would play McMillan. You're going to have to keep checking. Marv, Jamo, or Tajay. I would go Jamo. Marvin Harrison is wildly inconsistent. Jamo's a little inconsistent, but he'll. I mean, if you want to go with Tajay Spears, you could definitely go with Tajay Spears. I don't know if I'm, and Rich, I'll get to you next. My fear with Tajay Spears is he's had 2 good weeks, really good weeks. Does he come back down to earth? So I see there's a lot of risk. If you don't mind the risk, start Tajay. If you want maybe like 7 to 12 points, I would start Jamo. If you want that risk with Tajay and you want I see his range is like 3 to 20. So if you don't mind that 3 to 20 split, I would go with Tajay. Otherwise, Jamo probably gives you 8 to 11, 8 to 12, something like that. All right, Rich. Where is Rich? Did I skip Rich? Oh, I hate that face I make. Where's Rich? Okay, Rich, I'm not seeing your question, which means one of three things. Either I missed it, you didn't have a question, you were just sending a rose and being nice. Oh, there's Rich. Start one. Have PPR. Connor, Dobbins, or Garendo. Dobbins has a great matchup. Connor might not even play. Garendo's okay, but if you look at Garendo, he's had one good game. And that's it. He got 25 points. The other games, he's gotten under 10 points each. I mean, we're giving this guy a lot of credit. Now, he has a good matchup. Okay, Detroit against the run. Let's just look this up real quick so we can compare apples to apples. Detroit against the run is 23rd, but the Chargers against New England, the Patriots are 30th. They give up 25.4 points on average to running backs. That's why I'm thinking Dobbins could, if he's healthy, could have a really good day. He could have a very good day. And what I mean by that is anything really over 15, he could have a really good day. Garendo had one good week. Dobbins is he's a proven entity when he's healthy, and we're assuming he's going to be healthy. Connor's not quite exactly healthy, and LA against the run is like number 3, believe it or not. They're number 3, so they're pretty tough. All right, Rich, I would go Dobbins. If Dobbins couldn't go, I would probably go Garendo because it's a pretty good matchup. Connor has the tough matchup against the Rams. All right, let's pick Stephanie's. Oh, Stephanie, if you're still there, thank you. I like your analysis. This is for the championship. Yeah, Rich, I would go Dobbins and then I would go Garendo. Those are two good matchups. I mean, here's the thing. I said this earlier. I don't know if anybody cares. I found Dobbins actually as a free agent this week, and I really needed running backs because I had bad matchups outside of Garendo. So I have Dobbins and Garendo starting this weekend on one of my teams. And I know my fear is Garendo's really only had, in the last 3 or 4 weeks or 3 or 4 games, let's say, he's only had one good game where he got he got 25 points, which is fantastic, but he hasn't gotten double digits in the other 2 games. So that's why I'm thinking Dobbins is going to be a little rested. He's playing a really bad team against the run. I'm thinking like on paper now, Rich, he should get 15 easy. But that's why they play the game. So you can't listen to everything I say. I'm just telling you that's where I favor it. All right. Andrew, Scary Terry, great nickname, isn't it? Against Falcons, or Jacobs against Vikings. You got to go with Jacobs. You got to go with the running back. Oh, but it's a PPR league. Well, let me look it up. McLaurin, there's no sound, and all of a sudden TikTok has to tell me there's no sound. Check your audio settings. They don't want any silence. I mean, McLaurin's pretty steady. 14, 22, 23, 18, 1.5 against Philly, but he plays Atlanta. Atlanta against wide receivers, they're actually better than you think. They're 21, so they're not better than I think. It's against the run that they're better than you think. Against the run, Atlanta's 6th. So he has a good matchup. Brees or Malik neighbors? I would go Brees. Oh, good points. And you supposedly Dobbins has contract incentives? Well, that's even better then. All right. Let me look up Jacobs. McLaurin. Let's look up Jacobs. Contract incentives. Yeah, that's worth it, dude. That's how you get those players motivated. I mean, he's 18, 19, 24, 19, 28, 21. Now, Minnesota against the run. They're 25th. They give up. No. That's wide receivers. I got all excited there. Okay, Minnesota gives up 14.9. So theoretically, Josh Jacobs, which he hasn't gotten just 14 points at all, but if you look at that, he has 14.9. McLaurin against Atlanta against the pass, they average Falcons defense 24, but he'll get the bulk of those. I don't know. I mean, I would probably still go with Jacobs because he just gets such high numbers: 18.7, 19.6, 24.6, 19.7, 28.6, 21.4. And then you look at McLaurin, he's doing great. 14, 22, 23, 18. I mean, who else do you have like as a running back or wide receiver that you have to choose between these two? I mean, these guys, they have good matchups. They put up good points. I mean, this one's really, I'll see what the pros say. How about that? The pros say Jacobs. I'll agree with them on this one. I'll say Jacobs. I think McLaurin should do fine, but I'll go with Jacobs. I always tend to go with the running backs anyway because they just have to hand off the ball. Nick Walker hopes that the Patriots get without Hurts full PPR. Is it time to drop Devontae Smith? It could be actually without Hurts, but the caveat with that, Nick, is the fact that thank you, Rich, for that. Dallas is not really good against the pass. So Devontae might get some points still. So I wouldn't necessarily drop him. Plus, it's the second week of, who are you going to pick up? I mean, maybe BTJ, if you could pick him up. I mean, who's on the waiver wire that could possibly have a better week than Devontae Smith? Not many people, that's for sure. Andrew, I'm in a 6-man. I started Derrick Henry and Charbonnet, and they have Puka and Jettis. Okay. Oh, you started Charbonnet. Ouch. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, I would have. Oh. I mean, Charbonnet supposedly had a good matchup. That was an ugly game last night, but I might have said you got to go with Henry and Jacobs. Darn it. I wish I got to you earlier. Garendo or Tracy? Garendo has a better matchup. The Colts against the run, they're 14th, and the Giants are no Garendo. The Lions are actually 23rd. Garendo, and then the Colts, like I said, are 14th. So Garendo has a better matchup. I would go Garendo. Tracy or Ford this week. I'd probably go Ford. Let me just see. Ford plays oh yeah, they play Miami. Never mind. You might have to go Tracy because they play the Colts. The Colts are 14th. They give up 17.2. Miami, who Ford goes, they give up 14.4. So they give up almost 2.5 points or more. So I would probably go with Tracy, although the only thing about that is, well, Ford has DTR. I mean, both offenses are not that pretty. So yeah, I'd probably go Colts. I would go with Tracy on that one. I could play Dobbins or Tracy instead of Devontae. I would go Dobbins, Nick. Nick, they just activated J.K. Dobbins, which tells me that he's ready to go. Someone over on TikTok said that he has like contract incentives. So I would go Dobbins. I don't think Tracy in that offense, even with Drew Lock or whatever, I don't think that that's a finely tuned piece of machinery. Like I avoid ugly offenses. Like when Tua wasn't around, I avoided Miami. I avoid Cleveland now, a DTR quarterback. I avoid the Giants as is. Outside of Adams, I'm a little leery of anything the Jets can produce. Even with Rodgers, I mean, he's regressed. He had one good game. Yep. 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 Andrew, you're a Seahawks fan. You went with Charbonnet. You wanted somebody to root for. Yeah. Look, that game last night was so boring and ugly. I was thinking about driving to it at one point. I'm glad I didn't go because I would have been wet and it was really boring. And I was sitting at home a bit worried about JK's injury history. Yeah, he's been in a full practice. He has injuries. There's no doubt about it. But I don't really trust Tracy and that whole offense with the Giants. That's the thing. At least Dobbins has put up good games on a regular basis. That offense, you just don't know what Giants team's going to come up. But I guess one way to me, there's risks on both sides. Dobbins, how fully healthy is he? Tracy, how's that offense going to shake up? I figure with Herbert, you're going to have a good leader. You don't necessarily have that with Locke. So your commander of the offense isn't in a great position. That's why I would go with Dobbins. I know that that's kind of like an old school mentality, but I don't know. Vaughn, Thielen, Garendo, or Tracy. Garendo has a better matchup. So I'd go Garendo, Vaughn. Tyreek, BTJ, Cup. I'd go BTJ and Tyreek. I would avoid Cup right now. He just doesn't put up any points. BTJ he has a tougher matchup. Tyreek, Cleveland against wide receivers. They're 31st, so Tyreek has a favorable matchup. So yeah, Tyreek and BTJ. Downs or Devontae Smith this week? Well, we were just talking about Devontae Smith with Hurts out. Do you really want to play Devontae Smith? Let me just see. I'll see what the experts say. Oh, um, Devontae Smith or Downs? I would probably go Josh Downs over Devontae Smith. I would go Downs. They're playing the Giants. Well, let's see. Giants versus Dallas. Dallas against the pass is 25th. The Giants are 13th. But I am leery of the quarterback of Philadelphia this week. So I'd probably go with Downs because you know what you're getting. And isn't Flacco starting? My league goes to week 18. Do you think Monty plays week 18? Let me see. Right. Don't forget to hit the like button if you're on TikTok or YouTube. Over on TikTok, we have 1,100. You can only hit the like button once on YouTube, but you can hit it a lot of times. Let's get up to 1,500. And we have 5 people that have followed me on TikTok. Don't forget to subscribe. John P. Rod is here. Did you just send those, John? Am I missing you? What is going on here? T. Connor, Taylor, Mayer, Myers, Juan. Pick 2. T. Connor. Okay, I'd go Taylor because he has a decent matchup and he had a great week last week. And I know that sounds funny to say, but I think he gives him momentum going into this week. The Giants, though, are 24th against running back. So Jonathan Taylor has a great matchup. Now, if Connor can go, I would go Connor. If he can't, I would look at T. If T can't go, let's just see. Detroit against wide receivers. They're 27th. Then I would go Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings is too inconsistent for me to pick anymore. Okay. Myers has not been putting up points. Juwan Jennings is like this. Taylor's solid. Taylor and Connor would be my choices, but I don't know. It doesn't sound like Connor's going to play. It does sound like T's going to play. So I think that you'll probably end up going Taylor and T, but I would prefer Taylor and Connor. If Connor and T can't go with Taylor, I would go Juwan Jennings. Devontae Smith with Hurt out or Juwan Jennings. I would go Juwan Jennings. It's a pretty good matchup for them. Detroit against wide receivers is 27th. So it's a pretty good matchup. Dobbins or Ford. Look, if you have faith that Ford or that Dobbins is fully healthy, I would go Dobbins. It's a good matchup. I keep saying I hate that. New England, just so you guys know, is 30th. They give up 25.4 points on average to running backs every week on average. So I would go Dobbins. I'm asking because I need to pick up a tight end. Do you think I drop Njoku or keep for next week and drop Monty? Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, let me look up Monty. That's what I was going to look up. I'm sorry. I just realized you guys are going to think I'm crazy that I didn't have lunch today and I'm starving all of a sudden. I just realized that. I had nothing to eat. Montgomery plans to avoid surgery to address the MCL sprain in his right knee and will rehab the injury with the goal of returning for the divisional round of the playoffs. Oh, this is from Sunday. Montgomery will still miss Detroit's final 3 games of the regular season. So it looks like he's out Friday, 11:43 a.m. What's this from? Sunday. Okay. I don't know why they have these out of order. Okay, Dan Campbell said Friday that the team hasn't made a decision about placing Montgomery on injured reserve, blah, blah, blah. Montgomery spent much of this week visiting medical experts. Detroit's first game of the playoffs. Montgomery out for the rest of the regular season. Sunday's game against the Bears not only would rule Montgomery out for the rest of the regular season, but also for Detroit's first game. Oh, wait a minute. Friday, 11. Yeah, it looks like Montgomery's out for the rest of the season. So if you're going to drop anybody, you can probably drop him. All right. Hall or London at flex? I would go Breece Hall. He's a good matchup. London doesn't. I mean, if you want to play London because he'll get you 8 to 12 points, you can. If you want an upside, which might be a little risk, Hall has been scoring like 8 to 12 points like London, but hopefully this week he'll get more. So, I mean, London might be your steady pick, but Hall could be, over 15. He really has a great matchup. So I would start Hall if you're okay with a risk that he might not get over 8 to 12, and London probably gets right in those numbers. So you think keep Njoku and pick up Chig for this week? Yes. Yes. I need a boom player. Hall or London. Hall could be a boom player. London's not going to be. He hasn't been for the last 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, he's gotten decent numbers some weeks, but he's not putting up, massive out of sight kind of numbers or anything like that. So, all right, let's see what we got. My league goes to okay. T. Connor Taylor. Yeah, I picked that one. Let's see. Anybody else? My options for tight end waiver are Chig, Ertz, Ferguson. I would go Chig. He doesn't have the easiest or the best or most favorable matchups, but they're in the teens. I think it's 15, so he should be fine. Yeah, Chig is the best player. Kyler or Bo Nix. You look at Bo Nix over the last couple of weeks. He's been okay. He hasn't been maybe where he was earlier. The Bengals versus the Rams against quarterbacks. The Bengals are 22nd. The Rams are 26th. So Kyler Murray has a little bit easier chance. Let's just see. Let me look up their points. 21, 16, 14. So Bo Nix has gone over 19 or more on half PPR because that's just sort of how I judge it. I always go to the half. And that's what I play in my leagues too. So 19, 21. So it's 2 of 4 weeks. Bo Nix, Kyler Murray, 21, 10, 20, 17. Yeah, I'd probably go Murray. I don't like that 10 against New England, but I'd probably go Murray. But I mean, does Murray have anything to play for? Bo Nix does. The experts pick Bo Nix. Bengals, you're probably going to have to pass, though. Yeah, maybe Bo Nix because Cincinnati has to really play, and Bo Nix kind of really has to play, right? Because aren't they? Let's see. Come on. What is going on with ESPN? Oh, ESPN's killing me, man. Let's see here. Okay, now they're showing me. Jeez. Standings. Playoff. AFC. Yeah, Denver's right at number 7 right now, so they have to keep winning. I mean, basically, the Bengals are 7-8. Denver is 9-6. Denver has the 7th spot as of right now. The Bengals want that spot. So if the Bengals win, they're 8-8, and then Denver drops to 9-7. And then the Bengals would have the tiebreak if they win out the next 2 games. So yeah, I would probably go Bo Nix because he has the most to play for. Oh, also, do you worry about not playing Josh Allen week 17 because they have 2 seed? Maybe week 18. Maybe not so much this week. Because they play the Jets. Not that the Jets have anything to play for, but I think Josh Allen will play this week. I don't necessarily think he's going to play the following week. Yeah, Josh Allen will probably play this week. He probably won't play, or he won't play much the following week. And yes, I do think about that. Some of these leagues that have a week 18, I love because I can talk fantasy more, but I don't like it because, you might have a really good running back, but he only plays half a game. So you're kind of screwed. Like what if Derrick Henry only plays like the first quarter next week and you have him starting and he gets, 8 points? It really kind of screws you. I always hated that. Anthony Richardson, Newt Frog might not play, so I would go with Goff. Flacco might play for the Colts. Started Hollywood Brown and have J.K. Dobbins coming back. So Ford or Dobbins. I would go Dobbins. It's a better matchup. They wouldn't drop him from IR if he wasn't ready to go. Someone said that he has contract incentives. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, that's even an extra little icing on the cake there. Colts defense or Dolphins defense? Colts. Dolphins. I see what you're doing there, though. Dolphins, Colts. They're picking the Colts. I'm trying to think of why. It might be almost worth it with Miami with Njoku out, though. That's the thing. They both have bad. I mean, the Giants and Cleveland both have bad offenses. Drew Lock is playing. He didn't play great. DTR didn't play great, but DTR can do things with his legs. But Njoku isn't playing. Tracy is playing. With Njoku out, I think that actually makes Cleveland a tougher. Their defense is worse with Njoku out because they don't have that safety net. So I guess, I mean, the experts are picking Indianapolis, but I don't know if they realize the experts because I don't know that they update this constantly that Njoku's out. And I think that's a big deal for Cleveland because he still had like 14 points last week. And that was a bad game by them offensively. So I would probably at this point pick Miami based on Njoku. But if you wanted to go with Indianapolis because the experts picked it, and last night before I knew about Njoku, I was picking Indianapolis, you can go that way. And whoever played the Giants last week got like 25 points. So I know a lot of people were looking at that. And the Giants are really a bad offensive team, but Cleveland with that quarterback isn't much better. Ford might get more play than, yeah, but if they don't have Bay Soldier, if they don't have a passing game, they're just going to load up the box if they're smart. And I think Miami has a pretty decent defense anyway. Their defense against running backs, Miami's, here's the other thing, is number 7. They give up only 14.4. And Indianapolis is 14th. They give up 17.2 just to compare the two. So, yeah, I just think they load the box. I understand what you're saying. They might throw them a little bit more here or there, but Chig or Ferguson, I would go Chig. It's a decent matchup for him, but let me just I'll compare the two for you. Yeah, I'd go Chig against Jacksonville. Jake Ferguson has to play Philadelphia, and their defense is a lot better than Jacksonville's. Okay, James Bundy, J.K. Dobbins or Jameson Williams. I'd go Dobbins. Have Evans, Tyreek, and T already in. Yeah, Evans. Well, Tyreek has a favorable matchup. T does as well. Evans' matchup is okay, and I only say that because the Panthers have moved up a little bit. They played some weaker wide receivers and moved into the teens. But you also have to figure that McMillan now takes some of the catches away from Evans. Is Higgins even playing? Let's look that up. He's still listed as questionable. Jerome Ford, there's optimism. Okay, according to Fowler, Higgins improved every day in practice before drawing a questionable tag on Thursday's final injury report. The Bengals need all hands on deck as they continue to fight for what little playoff hopes they have left. Higgins played through an ankle injury that he suffered late in last week's win over the Browns, and he would now here's the thing. He got that injury, but he came back like a play or two later. And that's why I think Higgins probably will start, plus that little bit about they have to win these games. I mean, if they win, hey, Beto, thank you for the lightning bolts. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it. All right. Don't forget to hit that like button. We have 2,500 likes. See if we can get to 3,000. We have 5 new followers. Don't forget to follow. I'll be live. I won't be live tomorrow, unfortunately, but I will be live Sunday morning. Could have played Ford and J.K. Dobbins and Flex. Yeah, it's always like that. Devontae Smith or Debo? Oh, God. Debo had a good week. I don't expect it to keep up. Devontae Smith with a new quarterback, not Jalen Hurts, kind of scares me. I don't know what to expect. Let's see. The Niners, Detroit. Detroit's not good against wide receivers. They're 27th. Philly, Dallas, they're 25th. Oh, God. I would probably go Debo because I know what to expect. And he did have a good week last week. And believe it or not, the Lions are not as good. Their defense, because I guess of all the injuries, is not as good as it once was. They're ranked 27th. They give up 26.4. The Cowboys just 26.3. So it's virtually a tie. I mean, it really is a tie. So I would probably go Debo on that because we know what to expect at least, and Purdy can throw and all that. How are we feel about Eagles defense against the Cowboys? I think it should be fine. The Eagles defense, let's just see, is 16th against wide receivers and second against running backs. So Rico Dowdle could have a long day. And CeeDee Lamb is out. So I think Cooper Rush is going to be in trouble. So I think it should be a good matchup for Philadelphia defensively. Okay, Bay Soldier says I'm going up against Allen, Abdullah, Tajay. See, the thing about Abdullah and Tajay, and I have them on some of my teams, I'm actually starting Abdullah in a game because I have to. I don't have anybody like available, really. Like, can he hold up? Can he still put up 20 points again this week or even put up 13? That's my big question. And they have Madison still, who will come in as a running back. Tajay, the only thing is Pollard playing? Because otherwise I would go with Tajay. Pollard's still questionable. Is questionable for week 17. Pollard was out, touched 13-10. Okay. The 3-12 Titans have been eliminated from playoff contention. Pollard is clearly banged up. Fantasy managers can no longer expect him to handle gaudy sums on a weekly basis. Pollard is an unreliable RB2 in an albeit decent matchup. Wait, who was it? It was Spears and who else? What am I looking at here? I have. It was start Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, or Aaron Rodgers. I'd probably go Anthony Richardson, but I don't think he's going to play. I think it's going to be Flacco. Then I would maybe go Bryce Young over Aaron Rodgers. I know I'm all over. I got to get back to you. I know. Yeah, I'd go Bryce Young over Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Okay. Pollard is questionable, but he has it. Okay. Yeah, I just don't know. Well, of course he wants to get that incentive. I mean, an extra 250 G's would be great, but does he want to jeopardize his career? That's the only thing I'm worried about. If Pollard plays, Spears isn't going to have any value. But am I talking about the other team or your team? I can't even remember right now. I'm like fading because I just, like I said, I just realized I never had lunch today because I was so busy on some other stuff. Where was it? What am I looking at? It was Tajay Spears. It was Bay Soldier. Sorry, I know week 18 question, but just curious. Could have played Ford and J.K. Dobbins and Flex. Debo, where are we at? Yeah. If Anthony Richardson can't go with Bryce Young. Jacoby or Bucky, go with Bucky. Jacoby's not putting up any points. Start Anthony. Okay. Pollard's questionable. I feel like he wants the incentive. Of course, he wants the incentive. 18, Kyler or Waiver. Have Allen. I would go Kyler, but you have to see who he's playing. Shakir or Jameson Williams. Ooh. Yeah, I'd go Jameson Williams. The Jets and the 49ers against the pass, though. Why are they saying Jets are 14th? 49ers are third, though. Really? It's a better matchup for Shakir. The experts pick Williams over Shakir. I'm picking Shakir over Williams based on the matchup because San Francisco is number 3. They give up 15 points total to wide receivers over the last 4 weeks, where the Jets are, what did I say, 14. They give up 21.4. So I'm going Shakir. Should I start James Conner tonight? Tonight? Is he playing tonight? He's not playing tonight. There's no games tonight. You're scaring me here. You mean tomorrow? Yeah, he's playing tomorrow. Whew. I'm like, no, there's no games tonight. If he's able to play, you can play him. But like, I know that's the dumbest answer ever. I realize what I just said sounded so stupid, but let me just look him up again. 11:08. Connor's trending in the right direction, playing Saturday. Running backs' chance of suiting up. DJ Michael Carter filled in for Connor last. Trey Benson also was out, like Connor Benson. If Connor can play him. You'll know 90 minutes before game time. Yeah, Jace. Bryce Young did. Let's just look up Bryce Young real quick, because I've done some research about players that play a team for the second time. Let me just see what he's doing here. Bryce Young against Tampa Bay at 23.62. 80% of the players that get 15 or more points, and that's half PPR, just to let you know what I'm talking about. They go down. Now, they don't necessarily always have to go down by a lot, but they go down. So his 23 might be 20. His 23 might be 18. It might be 19. So I would probably guess, and he was buoyed by running a touchdown too. I mean, he got 6 points for his rushing touchdown, and he also threw for almost 300 yards, which is something he hasn't really done a lot of. Now, Tampa Bay's defense has actually gotten better over the last few weeks, not against running backs. They're 17th against wide receivers. Against running backs, they're number 1, believe it or not. So that's why I'm like, this is not a good matchup for Chuba Hubbard. So, yeah, I mean, I would feel good starting Bryce Young. I wouldn't be too worried about it. I don't know that he gets much more than 20 this time around, because Tampa really has to win. So they're going to do everything they can. Extra 450 if he hits his mark. Wow, 450, and that's for Pollard. So yeah, he'll probably start. That's $500,000. Holy cow! All right, the other team, he has Tajay. Okay, well, if Pollard plays, that's good for you. If he has Tajay. Did I get to Jace's question? Bryce Young had a decent game against. Yeah, he did. Santos Villafuerte. Put these defense in order. Eagles, Colts, Miami. Well, based on matchups, you might go Miami, Colts, Eagles, because it's basically the Giants with Drew Lock aren't that great. And Miami plays Cleveland with DTR. They're not that great. And they don't have Njoku. Cleveland. So I would go Miami, Colts, and then Philadelphia. Start Jane Daniels or Baker Mayfield. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a very good one. I can't spell. Oh my God. Let's see. Atlanta against quarterbacks, the Falcons and the Panthers. Okay. The Falcons against quarterbacks are 11th. The Panthers are 24th, 22.9. And the Falcons give up 19.3. So it's a 3-point swing. Or, yeah, that's 3.5 almost. I would probably go Baker Mayfield. But if Daniels got you to the dance, you might want to put Daniels in. He had a good week last week, but Mayfield what's Daniels playing for? Washington is 10-5. They have a 2-game lead on Seattle. It's an odd number, because they played 16, they played 15, but they lost 2 more. So Washington's if Washington wins, they're going to clinch. Or if Seattle loses again, I guess they clinch. They've played 16. They have to win. They have to go 10-7. Washington just has to win one of their next 2 games. All the experts are picking Daniels. Carolina's a little bit easier. To me, it feels like a little bit better matchup. Wow, they're making me do these puzzles a lot. Had to do another puzzle here. Yeah, the Seahawks game was boring. I mean, if Daniels got you there, I would go Daniels. Well, let's just see let me look at it. 36, 23, 28, 32. God, he's been playing great. Mayfield, 23, 29, 21, 12. Yeah, I'd probably go Daniels. He's been putting up in the 30s. Who would start? Browns D. What? Who would start Browns D against the Dolphins? I wouldn't start the Browns D. I would start the Dolphins D because you have DTR thrown. I wouldn't start the Browns D at all. I think Tyreek and Tua should have a big game or a bigger game. Spears or Dobbins? I'd probably go Dobbins because Soldier Bay or Bay Soldier. I always want to say Soldier Boy, but he let me know that Pollard has his almost $500,000 incentive. So he'll probably play, and that'll drop down Spears. Yeah, the Thursday games are boring. Sometimes they're like way too many penalties. Last just no scoring, just all over boring. Browns D or Bucks D? I wouldn't do Browns D. If anything, I would do the Bucks D. I wouldn't do the Browns D at all. It's because someone asked Browns D or Bucks D. All right. Let's see. Any questions here? All right. Don't forget we're at 2,600. That's awesome. Colts or Dolphins defense? We keep having this question. At this point, I'm probably going Dolphins because now I'm getting I'd go Dolphins because Njoku's out, and he at least got some points last week with DTR's quarterback. So I'd go Dolphins at this point just by a smidge. Last night, before I knew Njoku was not playing, I was saying Colts, but I think with Njoku not playing, it's going to be harder for DTR to pass. Yeah, Lamar did very good against the Steelers. Santos, I hope you're following me on TikTok, okay, buddy? That would be great. I'd love for you to join my other lives. I feel like Browns are just going to run the ball a lot. Yeah, but here's the thing. They're not going to get anywhere because if they do run the ball a lot, they're going to stack the box with like 8 guys, and they're not going to, I mean, Ford's going to get 1 yard, 1 yard, 1 yard and punt. I mean, it's not going to be all that exciting. Connors, Tyreek, or Dobbins in my flex? Well, Connors might not play. Tyreek has a decent matchup. Dobbins has a good matchup. I would probably go Dobbins on that one. Not probably, I would, but let me just see what the experts say. Connors, Tyreek, Dobbins. Oh, they're saying James Conner a little bit over Tyreek. But sure, well, let's see. Rams, Cleveland, the Rams, Browns, and Dobbins has the best matchup because they're going against they're going up against New England. The Patriots are 32nd against the run. Or no, they're 30th. They give up 25.4. I'd probably go Dobbins. Let me just see here. The experts picked James Conner, but I just have a feeling he may not go the whole game, or they might relieve him earlier than normal. I guess the safe bet would be Tyreek, because Connors and Dobbins, there's question marks. How healthy is Dobbins? How healthy is Conner? Tyreek should be healthy. He should have a good game. It's a pretty good matchup. me just see. Yeah, Cleveland against wide receivers is 31st, but he's got to split with Waddle and other things. Yeah, I mean, Tyreek should have a good game. Let's see, what's he been doing? 10-4. Yeah, he just hasn't been putting up good points. That's the thing that scares me. 4.6 against Houston. Ay. So, yeah, I'd probably go J.K. Dobbins. It's a good matchup. The Rams against the run are actually third against the run, so it's not a good matchup for Connor. All right, start two. Jonnu, Bucky, T. Higgins. I'd go Bucky, and I'd probably go T as long as he plays, and it looks like he will play. Marv or Jennings, I'd have to go Jennings. Marv has been very inconsistent. Jennings, at least if he has a decent day, he probably puts up a lot of points. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. just hasn't put up any points in a long time. Yeah, without CD, boy, you are. I'd probably go Jennings, yeah. But either one is not pretty. I mean, Jennings could get 6 points. Marv could get 6 points. Marv might get 13. Jennings could get over 20. So that's why I would go with Jennings. They both are risky, and if you're going to risk, I would go Jennings. Eagles or Colts. Boy, we're getting this. How does everybody have access to all these guys? Well, you figure Dallas still has some people to pass to, tight end to pass to, Dottle out of the backfield, although Philadelphia is really good against the run. So I would probably go Colts over Eagles just based on matchup. Now, overall, who has the best defense? I would say Eagles. So if you want to just play it safe and get close to 10 points, I'd go Eagles. If you want to try to roll the dice and really rack up some points, go with the Colts because there's a good chance they do get over 13 or 15 points. Josh Jacobs or Chan. Ooh, Devon Chan. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I don't know how to spell. Oh, the Browns versus the Vikings against the run. The Browns are 12th. The Vikings are 8th. It's a better matchup for a Chan, so I would go with him. How are you feeling about Jonnu and a Chan? I have both starting. A Chan has a good matchup or a decent matchup against why against Cleveland. Cleveland against the run, against a running back is 12th. Against tight ends, Cleveland's 15th. So decent matchups, not great, but decent matchups. Is that the famous Brewers hat? It is the famous Brewers hat. Jamie Swanson, Nathaniel Swanson, Sampson. I have not had lunch today. I'm fading fast here, guys. I'm still trying to help. So I feel good about Johnny Unichan. It's not great. They may not put up the best games of the season. Well, but Johnny will probably should have over 7. Achan should have 10 to 15. T. Higgins or Juwan Jennings. I'd go T. Higgins. Okay. Bucky, Mike Evans, Amon Ra in the flex. I'd go Bucky because it's almost a sure thing that he's going to get 15 or more points. Amon Ra, every once in a while doesn't get the points he normally would get. And against San Francisco, against wide receivers, is actually number 3. So that's not great for St. Brown. All right. Flex, Williams or Josh Jacobs? You mean Jameson Williams? What other Williams? Javonte Williams? You got to go Josh Jacobs. Mo, you got to go Josh Jacobs. I mean, the man is so consistent. It's crazy. Oh, I'm your hero. Oh, Nathaniel, don't say that, please. You got to have better heroes than that. Yeah, I got to go Josh Jacobs. All right, guys, I'm actually going to hit it because I got to eat something, man. I'm starving. I'm going to. Hey, Gabe's here, Nathaniel. Gabe, the Mets fan, just showed up. Hey, Gabe, I got to jump off, but I'll be on later. I promise. Okay, because it's only 5:30. I'll be on a little bit later. Maybe we can get the band, you and Nathaniel, and we can talk a little baseball too. See how your Mets did get Soto from the Yankees. So, they did do something great, Nathaniel. Anyway, guys, I got to go eat something. I'm fading fast. Anyway, take care, guys. I'll be on a little bit.